Hello guys, this is Martin and welcome to another video. Today I want to show you on request of many of you guys, I want to show you which platforms I mainly use for bug bounty and where to submit bug bounty. And you will be surprised not to see like the top ones like HackerOne and Bugcrowd, and I'm not discouraging hacking on them. I just have other ones I hack on and for numerous reasons. So the first one I want to start out with is Bug Bounty Switzerland, and the URL is bugbounty.ch, and it's Swiss companies, right? Like it's Swiss companies, full stop. So I submitted a lot of vulnerabilities there. That's really good payouts and things like this, and they have. Once you've been hacking for a while on public programs, they invite you to private programs, right? And you will find that you have a lot less competition in there. Um, Reason for that is simply because, well, it's Swiss companies mainly. So there's a couple of big ones in there, like Proton. So I submitted numerous bugs to Proton Mail, for example. I like those guys. They have really good triagers, and it's a very smooth process. They pay you in Swiss francs. The payouts are quite high, and so I would highly recommend to use those guys. And I had great success with them. That's for generic bug bounty, right? Like mainly web application, mobile application, things like this. The only downside with them is these websites and stuff, they're mainly like in German or in French or Italian. And so sometimes it helps if you speak one of those languages. And I speak fluent German, so I have no problem like with the Swiss websites. But even if you speak English or another language, at the end of the day, an API call is the same, right? So this is something I can highly recommend. And the second one is again in Switzerland, and it's called gobugfree.com, and they also have fantastic programs in there. I got invited to a lot of private competitions in there. So I've been hacking with those like for years, right? Like so, Go Bug Free and Bug Bounty CH, they have been working out really well for me, so I can highly recommend them. The third one, which is a domain called bugbountyhunt.com, and basically it has bug bounty programs and bug bounty platforms. And you will actually find a lot of them. Those are quite funny because they are self-hosted. Like a lot of them are like self-hosted, and that means those websites themselves or those companies themselves, they have their own bug bounty program. So you need to register with each and every one of them, but a lot of them are not on the big platforms and things like this, so they run their own bug bounty program. And the advantage I had with a couple of those here is that the payouts are a lot higher, right? Because they kind of cut the man in the middle out by running their own bug bounty program. And so you don't, HackerOne or Bugcrowd or any of these men in the middle don't need to be paid, and therefore they can pay the hunters more money, right? So this is again a really cool list. So I think 3 or 4 of them I hacked on previously, so those are pretty good as well. And now coming to Gen AI, right? Like, so anything AI related. So there's this website called Odin with a zero din.ai, and basically you can see like the detailed scopes here, right? Like, so you can see what kind of categories are considered low, what is considered high, what is considered severe, and stuff like that. So you see like prompt injection is usually a low, right? Like with those frontier models, like for example Google and Huawei and things like this. And there's actually like, it may give you ideas, right? Like like people always think Anthropic and Gemini and OpenAI and stuff, but there's actually a lot more, right? Like, so you can see, yes, there's OpenAI, but there's like the Salesforce, the Tencent, um, and so on. And so I highly recommend maybe signing up with them as well here, and because that's specific for Gen AI stuff, right? And there's a lot of models and a lot of stuff you can test. Um, Next one is Hunter. So basically, Hunter was the world's first bug bounty platform for AI and ML. There's others now as well, but this is also like very good if you specifically want to hack on AI and LLM systems and things like that. So I can highly recommend those as well. I got a few good payouts here from them, and you can go through, like the scope and what they offer, and it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent as well. So those are my 5 favorites. I mean, there's a lot of others, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, right? Like if you go with HackerOne and if you go with Bugcrowd or Integrity or any of the other much more well-known places, oh yeah, if you know your stuff and if you dedicate your time to it, you can find vulnerabilities, right? But I just wanted to share the ones because I got a lot of private messages and stuff. Which ones are you using, and where do you hack, and which ones are trustworthy and stuff. So I had good experience with these I've shown you today. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope this helps you in your endeavors on bug bounty. That's all for today, and have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.